Alright YouTube, what's going on? It's Hightower 5000 here today, bringing another Road to Max episode. Today we're on to episode number 11, and this episode is going to start off a little bit different anyway. One or two reasons why this is. In this video you will be seeing me hitting a total of 2,200, which is quite an achievement in itself. Also, that's me now completed 10 episodes of Road to Max, so what I want to do is sort of look back at the levels and XP that I've achieved over it's been about a month since the first episodes went up actually, so this will be a good comparison. And I think what I'll be doing anyway in the future is that every episode that ends in a 1, so for example at 21, 31, 41, 51 and so on and so forth, if we ever get that high for example, then basically we'll do these sort of comparisons, which is basically after every 10 episodes. Anyway, first of all, what I want to talk about is analytics. Now, analytics is basically how you perform on YouTube, and I want to say the last 28 days has been amazing. Obviously, I hit 1,000 subscribers in that time, that's pretty awesome. I'm already at 1,125 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Still to do the setup video, which you will be seeing hopefully in the next few days anyway. In the last 28 days anyway, and this is one thing that a lot of YouTubers obviously focus on, is their views and their sort of interaction. The interaction has been great over this last 28 days. So in the last 28 days I've gained around 19,000 views, which is my highest so far on YouTube. So thank you very much to everyone who has been viewing my content. That's roughly averaging about 600 views per day. Some days I've had over 1,000 and other days I've had down to 400, but overall it's averaged out about 600, which I am very, very happy about, because I never thought I'd achieve a number anywhere near that. Also in the last 28 days, and this is the thing that really blows my mind actually, 250,000 minutes of my content has been watched. Now 250,000 minutes, let me put that down into numbers that you'll probably understand. That's over 4,300 hours of my content has been watched. That's over 173 days straight of my content has been watched in the last 28 days. So as you can tell, I'm quite happy about that number. That is like absolutely amazing. It's a number that, again, I mean, I never thought I'd actually reach these milestones, and it's just absolutely great to achieve them, and I can't thank people enough for watching my videos. Anyway, so getting on with the video now, enough about the analytics. Some of you might find that interesting, some of you might not, but tell me if you want me to include some more of that stuff in the future. This is probably what you're here for though. So looking at this graph, this is basically the graph from episode 1 on the left, which I started off. So this is a graph from the 28th of December 2014. This was just prior to me uploading the first episode. So that's all my stats, and then these are the stats as of the 29th of January 2015. Basically the start of this episode. Now that's not 100% true anymore, obviously, because since I've done this graph I've been leveling up, and some of the skills you will see after this anyway. But this is just all the stats anyway, and it shows all my gains, so I'm going to talk through them anyway. So first of all, basically as you can see, I've gone from 29% up to 33%, so over a 4% gain. That has actually been quite nice, it's been quite smooth. However, it does show that I've still got a very long way to go. That means now that I'm over a third of the way there, which is nice, but considering in the past month I actually have been playing quite a lot anyway, or been AFKing quite a bit, but I've still been playing in a sense, then it is going to take me a very long time. I'm not too bothered again about ranks and stuff like that, I'm more bothered about my personal performance. So let's break my personal performance down. So we'll start off, we'll go for all the skills basically from top to bottom. So as we can see, attack and defense, we'll start off with these two skills anyway. Attack and defense haven't really gained much, to be honest. As you can see, attack has gained a wee bit of a percentage, but not too much. Same with defense as well. Defense has gained a little bit, but I've not really been training these skills at all. As you can see though, I managed to get a strength level up back in one of the episodes anyway. I wanted it to get to 92 or over the 50% point anyway, just so I know that that skill is halfway there. Constitution again hasn't gone up too much. I've not been doing too much combat. However, I'm definitely going to start doing a lot more combat, because I do want to start doing a lot more Slayer. I think that'd be something very good to live stream. Range again has only gone up 0.25%, and that only actually happened recently, just because anyway of me doing 1 or 2 Slayer tasks, which, okay, I don't overly like range, but I don't mind doing it anyway. And I just need to start leveling that up, and I'm sure I will through stuff like Slayer. Prayer's gained a level and a percentage as well, which is quite nice. However, there will be like me doing a lot of prayer at some point anyway. Obviously Dragon Bones are down to near enough the cheapest they've ever been in their lifetime. They're actually going up a bit again. They're down like 2.2k each for a while. They're now back up about 2.4, but hopefully they'll maybe drop again and I can buy a shit ton of them. Anyway, so our first, I think, major gain anyway has been in magic. Now, I wasn't intentionally wanting to get magic up, obviously. I thought I'd probably get magic up through doing stuff like Slayer and doing combat, maybe getting charms, stuff like that. But it turns out I've gained 4 magic levels in this time, and I've gained about 8% it looks like there. So that is actually quite a surprise. It was never my initial aim anyway. I think first of all my aim was to start doing a lot more of the just skills and then come back to do combat later on. But obviously with Superheat and gaining smithing experience, that's turned out, and I can't complain about that. Superheat is a bit of a loss, but I do feel it is worth it because you are training 2 skills at once. However, I have actually started doing the Artisan's Workshop. However, I do feel that the Artisan's Workshop is way too slow for my liking. And although it's really AFK, and obviously AFK suits me at certain times, I feel it's just way too slow. I mean, okay, you'll have to click every 3-4 minutes, which yeah is ideal for me, but it's just too slow. Honestly, I'd be there for years to get all the way to 89 anyway, so might do some more Superheat again in the future, might do some over double XP weekend actually. However, I think that might be a bit of an XP waste. So I don't really know if there's much point in talking about cooking anyway, but I actually have gained a little bit of cooking experience. I'm not at all sure why, just cooking raw fish I guess, and being able to eat them. So again, some cooking experience. Looks like I've gained like no wood cutting or no fletching experience anyway. The only time that I've really gained in them skills anyway is just usually through jack of trades, or maybe having to do 1 or 2 wee little things for quests. So the next skill is fishing anyway. Fishing has also gained quite a bit. I've been doing multiple different things with fishing. First of all anyway, I was fishing sharks for a while, and then decided to do monkfish, and I did monkfish quite a bit for AFK. They obviously provided a decent amount of money anyway, for AFKing anyway, so it's not too bad. And I've also been doing some barbarian fishing, which is not too bad either. So I've been doing loads of different stuff anyway. At the end of the day, I just want to get to 90 to be able to fish rocktails, obviously, because that is going to be a nice money making method. But 3 levels and about 5%, really can't complain about that. Fire making's made a gain of about 50k, but again, it doesn't really matter about fire making. I'm not overly bothered about the skill now that I've got it to 99. Okay, so the next skill on the list is crafting, and by far crafting has made the biggest gain. As you can see, away back on the 28th of December, you can see that the skill was at level 78. I remember distinctly actually when that, along with herb lore, feeding, I think it was, and agility were all at level 77 because they're all in a row. But as we can now see anyway, the level is at 90, and just a little bit of a spoiler I guess, it actually gets to level 91 in this episode. I actually just recorded that clip, because I'm doing 2 things at once I guess you can see. Well, that's gone from 13% to 44%, so that's over 30% gain. It's gone up 12 levels, in a sense 13 now, and it's just really good. It's nice to AFK, as I said. I mean, I say this every single time I do crafting. It's obviously good for me AFKing. It's quite ideal, and I mean at that rate of gain I can see me getting that. That's in the space of a month I've managed to gain that amount of XP on the heart. So on the basis that I've gained about 30% this month anyway, then in the next 2 to 3 months I can see myself getting 99 craft. Smithing is the next skill, and smithing I think was my lowest skill actually as of the 28th of December. As you can see, it's at 7.77, or it was anyway, so that was at level 73. So Mia has made quite a big gain as well. It's made a gain of at least 8%. It's now at level 80. Not much to say about smithing I guess, because I said it in with magic as well. Superheat, Artisan's Workshop, not at all sure really where I'm going to go with that anyway, but I just want to get to 89 to be able to smelt the Cern stones when I can eventually mine them. Mining is the next thing obviously that leads on to, so we've gone from level 82 to 84, so there's been a little bit of gain in mining, not too much anyway. We've gone from 20% over to 22%, so just been doing mining here or there. Mining is quite slow, but it's very easy anyway, especially when you're on World 84 doing the Living Rock Cavern. Eventually I'll get to 89 anyway, and I'll be able to mine Cern stones, which is even more AFK. Now herb lore is probably the skill that I've made the least gains in anyway. As you can see, it's not gone up a level. It has gone up like 0.22 of a percentage, but I mean at the end of the day I'm just waiting for double XP weekend though. I still need to actually buy the stuff for that, so I probably should go ahead and do that. I'll probably try and gain maybe a mil or 2 XP in that skill. Herb lore is just so expensive, and I mean yeah, it is worth it eventually, but I don't really feel that I have the high enough combat stats to make it worth it at this stage. Obviously I can buy most potions. The potions that I can't buy, for example overloads, I really wouldn't get much benefit of them unless all my combat stats were a lot higher. The next skill is agility, and I thought agility would always be my slowest skill, my worst skill anyway, but as you can see, it has gained 3 levels and it's gone from 12% to 15%. Also know the AFK method now, so I probably should do a little bit more of that anyway. Agility doesn't seem too bad at all actually on the course in Elf City. It's not enjoyable, but it's definitely not like any of the other courses anyway. It's a lot more different. I'm actually willing to do it. I'm actually willing to do agility, which is probably the first time I would ever say that. Of course, with the 20k thing as well, that always helps. However, I very rarely do that. I should probably do that a lot more often, but I mean, it's just a bit of, it's only 20k. I suppose that does all add up though over time. So next skill is feeding, and feeding has gained 2 levels. It's not gained as much as I wanted it to anyway. It's only gone from 11 to 13%. I was hoping to get it to at least 81 by this stage. I've still not. I need to just go ahead and do it. That's why I'm starting to put my bonus XP towards that skill now and divert it away from Hunter. So I mean Hunter at the end of the day, as long as I'm doing Jack of Trades, which I might actually start putting towards feeding, and also definitely anyway my daily gathering limit. That's an easy 10 to 20k hunter, which I'll talk about in a minute obviously. Then that's getting me the hunter gains anyway. And I've gone, unfortunately with like divine locations, there's nothing for feeding, so that's probably why it's best me putting all my bonus XP towards that. I can probably use the game with feeding about 120k per hour if I really do focus. However, it's usually more like 100k, which still isn't bad, but I just need to go ahead and do it, and I've not really got round to it yet. Anyway, so we're now slowly getting through the list. The next skill is Slayer. Now, Slayer I've only started doing recently actually, I've not really, as I said, done it recently. What I mean by that is I've done like 2 or 3 tasks recently. Slayer's a very slow skill I feel to train anyway, and it's a very surprised I have it this high. The only reason I do it is because way back in like 2012 summer, if you signed in every single day for like 3 months, you got like a bonus million experience or something. That's basically what I put like 700k of it towards anyway. I put a bit to magic and a bit to some other skills, but I primarily put it on Slayer just to help me out with Slayer. So as you can see, it's gone up just under a percentage, and I'm very close. I think in this episode anyway, I'm not at all sure, I've not got it yet, but I've got blue dragons right now, so I probably will get 80, but hopefully in the future anyway we can start to live stream a lot more Slayer, and we can make a lot more Slayer gains. I sort of really need to do Slayer as well, because I need to start getting more charms for summoning, which I'll talk about in a minute. So next skill is farming. I think farming is the worst skill anyway, probably in Runescape right now anyway, I feel. I'll be talking about that in one of my Rune Talk episodes coming up in the future, basically about skill revamps anyway, but farming has to be the worst skill I feel in the game. So I'm not overly enthusiastic about training it. I'm however going to get it up to at least 80 for now anyway, because I think they're going to revamp it hopefully anyway sometime this year. So as you can see there, I've gone from level 74 to 78, coming up on level 79 I guess, and it just costs a lot of money I guess, so hopefully they'll change it in the future, and I'll hopefully anyway get more gain when they change the skill up a bit, because I think I'll probably stop early 80s. Next skill is runecrafting. Runecrafting probably has to be actually maybe the slowest skill in the game, it turns out. I never knew runecrafting was that bad anyway, but it has actually gained quite a bit in all fairness. So it's gone from level 73 to 81. It's gone from, it looks like 8% up to about 17%, so that's not bad anyway. I've about doubled the XP that I've had in the game for runecrafting. However, one of the things about runecrafting is it is AFK, but it's still very, very slow. I don't mind doing it, but the only time I really have done it anyway is when I've had a daily. Dailies are absolutely amazing for runecrafting, because you do get a lot of experience, and obviously with Viswax doubling them, it tends to make it not too bad. Probably will have to go do it runecrafting again at some point though, however I'm just probably going to leave it for now because there's no real immediate thing that I want to get from runecrafting. So the next skill is Hunter, and we all know about Hunter really. Hunter has been a skill that I've been gaining quite a lot in the last few episodes anyway, especially the last one. As you can see, it's gone from 74 to 79. I've gone from about 9%, which is nice anyway to get out of the under 10% area, and it's gone all the way up to 14%, so it's gained about 5% anyway. And as you know, I'm basically just doing Chronicles and Divine Locations for Hunter. I actually looked at a video the other day, basic Hunter training methods, and there is one that's about 150k per hour. That's if you're probably not failing, so at my rate it's probably going to be 100k an hour. However, that is actually at keyboard, so maybe start doing that at some point soon anyway, because I realise that I just cannot continue doing what I'm doing, Divine Locations, all the way to 99. So the next skill is Construction. I'll talk about a wee bit Construction later on in this video. You'll see one of the clips, me talking about protein planks. I'm also going to probably do a video on preparing for double XP weekend at some point when I get around to it, but as you can see it's gone from 85 to 86. However, that doesn't tell the full story anyway. That is very low 85 to very high 86. And in this video I'm going to give you another spoiler. It goes up to level 87, and that's gone up a whole 5%, and that's just off the harp alone. So as you can tell, basically earlier on anyway, I got crafting. I basically got 30% crafting, so every 30% I got, I've got from that 30% I've also got 5% construction. So on the basis that I'm getting about every 5% I get for that, 1 I get for construction. Crafting needs about 50% more anyway, so I'm more likely than anything anyway from the harp to get about 10% more of construction XP, so I'm probably going to make quite a lot of gains as well, hence why I'm not getting all the way to 99 by doing protein planks. I think there's also going to be an update with construction this year coming as well. I remember them talking about that in one of the podcasts. I'll need to look into that. I'll probably make a video on that as well. So next skill is Summoning, and Summoning has actually gained quite surprisingly. I never thought I'd actually gain this much in Summoning, but looking at it I've gone from 75 to 77, which isn't too much, but it's now at 12% exactly, which is pretty cool I guess, and I've got myself a decent amount of charms, got myself about 500 charms. Obviously I'm probably going to use them at double XP weekend. Hopefully I'll have maybe about 1,000 by then, and then hopefully I can just get myself a few levels, hopefully try to get to that level 80. I just need to start doing more combat to get more charms. Once that happens I'm willing to spend the money anyway on leveling up summoning. So Dungeoneering has to be actually one of the skills that has received the most gains as well. It's received over 10% anyway. I can now confirm obviously that is from yesterday, so that's 86. You'll see in the next clip anyway that I get like 250k in about an hour, which is very, very nice. I did 2 very high level floors and also did my daily challenge, so got quite a nice wee game there. Again, just need to get stuck back into sinkholes because that's really what I've not done in a long time. But I'm slowly getting there anyway. I really don't mind Dungeoneering. Final skill anyway is Divination. Now Divination has gone from 85 to 88, which I don't think really reflects the true story. Divination is a very, very, very slow skill, but thanks to the Guthanix catch, it's made it a lot more easier anyway. It's gone up 8%, or 7% I guess you could say. And eventually I'll get that to level 90. I want to get it to about 92 and then I'll probably stop. However, it's just such a slow skill, but I mean that's going to take a very, very, very long time to get it all the way to 92. However, it is a third of the way there to 99. So 1 or 2 things I just want to say before we move on to the clips. There is I've rambled for a very long time, so this is going to be a very long episode, extra special episode I guess you could say. But just looking at the total XP, we've gone from about 98 million up to 113 million, so that is a gain there of about 15 million XP, which is quite nice. That's what I've gained in a month anyway, so hopefully I'll be able to increase that rate into the future. I'm a bit worried as well actually that there might be a new skill release. I never thought about this originally, so a new skill might come into the equation at some point. Not at all sure what that would be. Need to look into if they've actually totally scrapped Inventor or not. I think they're going to revamp smithing a bit anyway. That's the last thing I heard, but I mean nothing's really been confirmed or that I know of anyway, but that could definitely delay the process by a few months anyway. Final thing I want to say is thank you very much to www.maxcape.com just for letting me use these graphs anyway. If you want to know your progress for any sort of cape, so Maxcape, Completionist capes, 80s, 90s, 70s cape, then go ahead and use that website because it is very easy to use. Anyway, so I'll probably do another one of these around episode number 21. I'll probably forget to do it on 21, but I'll do it around a bit then anyway. And then we'll do another comparison then. So let's roll the clips. Alright, so welcome back. It is now like 1:43 in the morning and I've just completed myself a dungeon. Just got myself a really nice amount of XP. So that is very nice. Also completed my daily challenge and also extended it as well to make it even better. Before I go actually, I don't want to go just yet. I will go out in a second. Just need to message Maxi. Thanks very much. She very kindly offered to just do some dungeons with me and that really helped things out because I really hate when you do dungeoneering without knowing anyone because half the time you usually just get abused for not doing the correct thing, or that's what happens to me anyway. Anyway, so as you can see my screen is a bit of a mess right now. I really need to sort out my binds, but happily managed to get that level now if we can actually find Dungeoneering. So there we go, there's 87. I've not even done sinkholes as I said for about the past week, but there's level 44 unlocked. However, I've only done up to level 37 before, so really probably need to go ahead and do that. This is as far as I've ever got actually, so if we look in here, I should really be utilising these a lot higher levels. I've never been higher than level 38 before. As you can see, my previous progress was 35, so I did all the levels that I could before I prestiged last time. So I mean, hopefully I can get up to level 44 of this prestige and get a lot more XP. Anyway, but that's now me exiting out the dungeon. I also managed to do the daily for that as well. As I said, I extended that, so that meant that at the end of the day I did 2 dungeons, and that is really good. I'm now 400k away from the next level. This is where it starts to get really long and tedious. It's like you have to do maybe 5, 6, even 7 a week's worth of sinkholes just to get one level. Sinkholes is very dependent on luck obviously, but what I'm going to do is go and turn this challenge in now, and then hopefully we can get a good start to the level anyway. So if I turn this in, hopefully maybe get 100k, that'd be very, very nice. But there we go, it's 159k, so we're probably a good like 2/5 of the level done. Not at all sure what the exact math is anyway, but that's a very good start anyway. Also get myself some treasure hunter keys, which is always very good to try to get some bonus XP. Alright, okay, so you join me at no other place than the harp, of course. Working on quite a few videos right now. I'll run you through what I'm working on. I'm working on Road to Maxcape episode number 11, sort of a special video, which obviously you know because you're watching this. Obviously the start of it was a little bit different. Then also been working on Rune Talks, which you probably wouldn't, I don't know what upload this, I don't know what the schedule is going to be for that upload. So Rune Talks, obviously, setup video. Quest is coming out, working on, well I've still not actually started working on doing no evil. I did the Holy Grail first, and there was also another video I'm pretty sure I had in mind, but loads of stuff coming out right now, so working on quite a few projects as well. Also talking to 1 or 2 other people as well about maybe doing like in Rune Talks, doing like dual commentaries and talking about stuff. It's obviously good to get other people's opinions as well. So anyway, why are we at the heart? Well, as I said, I've been at the heart. Reason is just because I've been working on 1 or 2 things. As you can see right now, I'm 29k away from getting 91 crafting, which is quite nice. But the main thing is we're here for is, as you can see, we're 599 XP away from 87 construction, which is quite nice. If I click now, then hopefully we should get a level. I should get a 600 XP. I guess it's 500 XP. Oh well gutted. We'll have to wait a wee bit longer, unfortunately. But one or two things that I hopefully changed now. Hopefully you can see my mouse now anyway. I realised that was a problem. Maybe not in the Road to Max Cape episodes anyway, but definitely in Quest. Obviously people, you want to see where your mouse is at. But yeah, we're only now 4 levels off. Once I get this construction level anyway, we'll be down to 3 levels. I'll quickly get this crafting level as well. Not at all sure what skill it's actually going to be to go ahead and get the 2200 total. It could be attack. I mean, I'm only 9k away from attack now. I got quite a bit when I was doing dungeoneering last night. Obviously got a dungeoneering level, which you've seen in the clip earlier on. But I've got a feeling it could be Slayer actually. I'm only 22k away from a Slayer level. However, farming is not too far away either. That's 2 runs away, which I should probably do a run. Not at all sure if there's any skills that are anywhere near closer. There's 1 or 2 skills that are not too far away from leveling up. We've got Constitution at 72k, we've got Herb Lore at 49k, and I think also Fishing at 86k. So, I mean, those are the levels that I'm probably likely to get up soon anyway. I've just really got to start doing a lot more stuff anyway. I mean, I think I really need to do some feeding, get to level 81 feeding. But I definitely don't do that anyway, because I do want to do some feeding over the double XP weekend, because I want to get all the way to, if I can, at some point 86, so I can start doing AFK Dwarf Traders with some boosts I think I can do. Because Pyramid Plunder is just so shit, and especially at this stage, very repetitive, and it's the same amount of XP. Of course, when I get to level 81, I'll unlock a new room, so hopefully I'll get a little bit more XP. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked here, so hopefully now if I tune this harp this time, then I get level. And there we go, there's the level. And that seemed to delay a little bit with the animation there, but there we go. So probably got nothing new interesting anyway. Don't think I'm going to spend money on my house and pimp out my house anyway, definitely until I've completed Max Cape, but I think basically I know what I'm going to be doing to 99. As I've been saying, actually, let's very quickly go check the bank. I've been doing some protein planks anyway. Now I think what I need anyway is probably now we're down to about 32k I need to get to 99. I don't think I'm going to get 32k anyway, but let's just look at that. There's like 47k harmonic dust in there, so that just shows how much gains there has been in crafting. But looking at protein planks in here anyway, what I have is I have 2,900 basically, so that would get me, probably going to get me about 840,000 XP I think roughly, so that would be quite nice anyway. I'd at least like to get the skill to 92, and I've also though I've got 70k oak logs which I need to turn into protein planks, on the basis anyway that they are about a 1 in 10 chance of changing into something else. I think I'll probably get about 7 more k, so I'll have at least 10k protein planks. Now the weekend before double XP I'm going away on a family holiday, and that's quite nice because you just chill out, or what we tend to do anyway, is just chill out, watch movies and TV and all that. I'll just be sitting with my laptop on my lap, and I'll happily just be putting all these through the sawmill. I remember last time anyway we went on a family holiday, and it was in Dublin, and I just went on an absolutely divination craze. I'm pretty sure in the space of the weekend, or it was maybe a week actually, I got like 20 divination levels, hence why my divination is so high. Anyway, so that is that level gained. We're going to go back to the harp now because I'm only 27k away off getting 91 crafting, so I'll see you again soon. Alright, so you can guess, yep, we're still at the harp. No surprise there. Anyway, I think I gave 2 hints away anyway. I definitely gave a hint away when I was talking about all the levels, and obviously in the last clip as well. So we have now managed to get down. Not too sure how long it took me anyway. You can probably tell by the clock. Can't remember when I recorded the last clip though, but just editing away this video anyway. It's quite strange because I'm actually editing around about the 12-minute mark right now, so I just edited the Slayer part of me talking about Slayer. So it's quite strange actually. I'm like doing other parts of the video before I've completed the video. Which is quite cool I guess, but anyway, right now we are here for 91 crafting. There's going to be nothing I can do at 91 crafting, I just guarantee you, at this level. Don't even know what you can do at this high level. Oh, there is actually some stuff. But nothing probably useful. Actually, there's effigies now we can actually start to get use of. However, I mean, I've not had an effigy in like a year. Anyway, that's now leveled up, so we are now 600. Damn, that's a long way to level 92. But once I get that 600 XP anyway, then it'll eventually be halfway to 99, which is quite nice. However, that is probably going to take a good maybe 10 hours to get, I'm thinking. Alright, so you join me now. It is 8 minutes past 2 in the morning. Excuse the stupid setup actually. What I'm doing right now, as you know, is getting the attack level. So I'm now 2 kills off getting the attack level. So I've actually got a range set up with my Sardamon and sword out, just so I can get the attack. And then what I'm going to do as soon as I get the level is switch out to range so I can train some range. And as well because the blue dragons are weak to bolts, so it makes sense to do anyway. Now you also might have seen some of these clips as well in the Rune Talks episode if you have watched that. If you haven't, then go and please do and give it some love and tell me what you think of it actually, because right now obviously that was the first sort of pilot episode I guess, so want to see how people actually thought of that episode and actually think of the series as a whole. So you might have actually seen some of this gameplay already, but here we go. Here is the level. So going from 88 to 81, so it's not like attack actually. I'm not even in combat, that's the annoying thing. Attack, you don't really unlock anything much new. We'll unlock some new weapons at probably 85, but I mean there's nothing anytime soon anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on. I'm 16k Slayer XP away. I don't think I'm going to get it because I think Blue Dragon's going to be 75 XP. I've got bonus XP, so that'll give me 150 XP per kill. Now, on the basis that I've got 53 kills to go and it's about 150, I'm probably going to be getting just over 7.5k if I've done my maths correct, and that's not going to give me enough. So I'm going to have to go ahead and unfortunately do another Slayer task, which I don't really mind doing, to be honest. Just going to switch up to my range gear now, actually. Don't mind doing another task, obviously, but just means that I'm not going to get level tonight anyway, because I'm going to go to bed soon. I've got a lecture at 9 AM. So I should probably go and sleep, so I need to change up some of my range abilities as well now. But one thing I really badly want to get out of Dungeoneering anyway is the Bone Crusher, because as you can see I'm picking up all these bones, and every so often I just bury a shit ton of them. So in a sense I'm training prayer, but I've had the Bone Crusher, it would do this for me automatically, which I'm saving up for now anyway. It's only 34k, so it probably won't take too long to get. Considering I'm already on about 14k Dungeoneering tokens at least, if not more now, then hopefully it won't take me too long to get that. Anyway, one more level to go, and probably another Slayer task as well, so wish me luck. Alright, so maybe a little bit different ending. You did know that I was going to be getting a Slayer level up, but I wasn't expecting this way either, to be honest. What I was expecting me to do is do a Slayer task, however, I really want to just go and head home. So I thought, okay, I've not done my Jack of Trades for today, so I'll go ahead and do that and just use the XP on Slayer. So we're 5k off now. This will get me probably about 15k, I'm hoping. 15k and a half exactly, actually, which isn't too bad. So if I redeem that, there we go. So that is me now got 80 Slayer. And then also maybe I should get a little wee message as well saying that I got a 2,200 total. As you can see it there, it says it in the worst colour ever, but it says it in sort of a maroon colour there that I've achieved a 2,200 in total. So, looking back anyway, I know this is sort of a review episode. I mean, I started this series only 10 episodes ago, I guess. This is the 11th one, as you know. And I mean, I was only at like a total level of 2,130, I think, maybe the early 30s. So, it just shows how much I've gained anyway. That's me gaining 70 levels in a month, which is probably my fastest ever growth. However, obviously it's going to start to slow down now, especially because I've got a lot of the easy skills out the way. And there's now only 8 skills that are under level 80. Anyway, so the plan is for now anyway, I'm not probably actually going to be doing too much skilling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a lot of planks through the sawmill so I can just get myself some protein planks. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please leave the video a like rating. Thank you very much if you have made it this far. It's now already at 27 minutes long, so it is a very long episode, as you do know, because you've watched the whole thing. I do keep stating the obvious, and I do apologise as well. There has been quite a bit of repetition in this video as I've gone through it, obviously. I mean, these clips and stuff were recorded over a few days, and at the end of the day, it is a very long video, so I'm going to repeat myself. But this video has been a good review over the series anyway, and the series as a whole has received such amazing support, so I can't thank everyone enough for the support. Really do hope the support continues on these videos into the future and this series does continue to grow. If you missed the first episode of Rune Talks, basically that was on Friday, it was about Rune Labs. I've got some interesting ideas on that as well, so go check out that video and tell me what you think of that as well. Again, if you can, maybe share this series, that would be a great help to me anyway. Just get more people to watch the series anyway, because that would always be nice. And yeah, I guess that is all that I've got to say. So on Tuesday, what maybe will be coming up is either a quest or a setup video. I realised a setup video was due quite a wee while ago at 1,000 subscribers. I'm now already at like 1,150, but it is coming, so do not worry. Anyway, again, thanks for watching and I'm out. Adios.